Today I am going to be canning some of the moose from the hunt back in October. Right now it's like December 2nd, so it's been a while. The meat all came back from the processor, and I've eaten some of it, really good. We were worried that it was going to be an old cow and she was going to be really tough, but she's not, she's delicious. But yeah, today I'm going to be canning. So for starters, I've already got some of it done. I've already got all the meat diced up, or cubed up, sorry, and in the bowl. And I've got it seasoned already. So for seasoning, what I do is salt is a must. I'm very heavy with the salt. I just show you the little table salt. And I'll just go over this with I'll put like a white layer all the way over, mix up with my hands. Another layer of salt, mixed up, another layer of salt, and I'll just keep doing that. And then a little bit of black pepper, not as heavy obviously, because the salt is the most important. And then I just used a little bit of this Mrs. Dash seasoning to give it a little extra flavor, but you can use literally whatever you want. You can use like steak spice, or you can use any of your like favorite barbecuing seasonings or anything you want, just to give it a little bit extra flavor. On top of that, I've also got a little bit of onion diced up that's going to go in the cans. I like jalapenos in mine, so I've got some jalapenos done up, and some garlic that I'm going to do as well. This is fresh garlic. A lot of the time I'll actually use like the jars of pre-minced stuff you can get from the store, but there was fresh stuff on sale, so I grabbed it. I'm going to use it instead. Now the process is fairly straightforward. You just take the meat, stuff it in your jars with your vegetables, and then just pop it on the stove and boil it. I'm not using a pressure cooker. They say that you're supposed to use a pressure cooker because the technique I use is just water bathing. Doesn't get it hot enough. Been doing it for years. My dad's been doing it for years. Everybody I know just water baths their meat like this. And so long as you let it go for a couple of hours, I don't know of anybody who's gotten sick. The other thing is, I'm only using little 125 jars because I like them personal size. Most of the people I know use the big jars, like the 1 liter jars or the 750s. So I do go a little bit smaller just because I like them. I can like pack them in my lunch when I go to work, and I can eat this with a little bit of crackers or something. And I don't have to worry about having an entire jar of meat to do something with. That's also why my onions are diced fairly fine. A lot of people, when they use a bigger jar, they chop their onions rather large. Yeah, I also don't put any barbecue sauce in mine. And a lot of people put barbecue sauce in theirs. I don't like putting any extra wet ingredients in. I just dry seasonings and veggies, and that's it. That's enough talking for right now. I'm just gonna start stuffing these, and then I'll pick you guys back up right here in a minute. All right, so I'm gonna try and do like a brief packing of this particular one, and then the rest of them I'm just gonna, you'll either see it or I'll time lapse it. But I'm gonna start with, on the bottom, I'm gonna put a clove of garlic, just because I don't know if it's true or not, but in my mind, if I put this in on the bottom, it's gonna get the majority of the direct heat, and therefore it'll get a good flavor release all the way through the meat, which is what I want. I want to get that good garlicky flavor. Do that. Shake it around to the bottom a little bit. And then I'll put a couple of jalapenos, a little bit of onion, and then it's literally just stuff it tight with meat. So you throw a couple of cubes of meat in there, and then you just pack them in tight, like that. Stuff it down in there really tight. You don't want any excessive air in here. Like, you can, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Some like air pockets in there. You don't really want that. You want to try and get it as tight as you can. I know a lot of people will use like a ramrod of something, like just a piece of wood or something, and they'll like really push it down. I don't have that handy, so that's why I'm not doing it. But once I've got a couple pieces of meat in there and I've really got it packed down, I'll throw in a little bit more onion, another couple of jalapenos, and then just even more meat. And again, packing it as tight as I can make it. You don't want to go all the way up to the top, but you want to go fairly close. Right about there, because you want there to be room for the liquids inside to boil. But you can see I'm just up to about this bottom lip. That's right about where you want it, stuffed fairly tight. I've got this one stuffed pretty good. You can see it's got a good mix of veg in there and everything. So then we'll just take the lid and we're gonna put it on, like, we're not even gonna put it on. It's literally just spin it off, drop things. It's literally just gonna be just spun on enough so I can spin it on there. Like, you don't want to go tight. Go tight, and you start boiling, you're gonna pop your jars. So you just so that it doesn't do that right there, just so it doesn't pop off. It's about as tight as you want it. You want it to be almost falling off loose. That way, some of your pressures can escape. There, that's good. Yeah. Still nice and loose. Good. Alright, so that's one jar packed. I've got 9 more to go, and I'll pick you guys back up then. Alright, so you watch me get it all done over there. All in the jars. So here it is. All 10 jars in the pot. I got the pot on already, just because I'm on a bit of a time constraint, so I'm going to get as much done as I can. So on the bigger jars, like the 500s and above, they all have a shoulder. So normally you want that water right about the shoulder. When I use these little jars, I fill the water up in here until that line I showed earlier, that bottom line just below the lip, right about there, that's where you want the water. And I've got a kettle on standby, because water obviously is going to be evaporating off of this, because once I get the contents of the jars to boil, I need to keep the contents at a boil for at least 3 hours. I usually go to 3 to 4 hours. So in total on the stove, it's probably going to be 5 to 6 hours. At this point, all there really is to do is sit back, watch, and just keep an eye on it. I usually set an alarm on my phone for every 20 minutes to half an hour to come back and check, make sure the water's not getting too low. I did run out of jalapenos as well. As you can see, these two have no jalapeno. This is also about as full of jars as I can get this pot. Obviously, you can kind of see there's no more room, but even if I could get more in, I think this is about as full as I ever want it. Otherwise, you don't get that good water movement around your jars, and so you're not going to get them, they're not going to cook as well or as quickly or anything, because you're going to have trouble with that. As for a lid, I do put a lid on usually. Some people do, some people don't. I do. But yeah, so you will be with me to check on it occasionally. But other than that, oh, hi, Chef. Hi, pretty girl. What are you doing? You gonna help me cook? Are you gonna help me cook? Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's gonna be a couple hours of it boiling and me topping it up with a hot kettle every once in a while. Okay, sorry, my son hijacked the GoPro for a minute. As you can see, it is boiling away in there. So I set a timer for 20 minutes from now. In 20 minutes, I'll boil the kettle, and it'll probably need to be, because the pot will probably need to be topped up. So I'll see you guys there. So it's been 20 minutes. Had an alarm set on my phone. I got the kettle boiling. I started boiling a few minutes ago. It'll be ready probably the next 2 or 3 minutes. As for this, take the lid off. You can, I don't know how well you guys can see it. I don't want to reach my hand in there. You can see the water's down a couple of centimeters anyway. Not, well, maybe not quite. Maybe half an inch. It's about as low as we want it to get. Like that's bottom end. So yeah, I got the kettle going. Once the kettle's boiled, I'll pour it in. So we want to keep this at a rolling boil continuously. Like I said, for a couple of hours. You can hear kettle starting to boil. Turn it off. Set the lid just off to the side for a second. And then we'll just pick an opening. And just keep pouring the water in until it's back up to where we need it. You don't want to go too high because you don't want water getting into your jars, obviously. But you don't want it too low, because if it gets to the point where you boil all of the water out, then you've got to worry about popping jars, which is very loud. It'll scare you, especially if you're in the other room not paying attention. Well, it's just that same process. Keep an eye on it every 20 minutes, half an hour. Top it up with a little bit more, hot water, and yeah. Once you're, like I said, once the contents of the jar are boiling, 3 hours or 4 hours, sorry. Wow, this is very hot. Oh, you can see, like in this one, it's still boiling even after I take it out. This one too. If you hear that popping sound, I don't know if you can or not, that is the sound of the jars sealing themselves. So you might be able to hear them. You might have heard one or two of them already, but they'll make that pop, and that pop is how you know that they're sealed. But you can watch this one. It's all still boiling in there. And this one too. Oh, a couple of ones back there still doing it. And that's totally normal. They'll do that for a little while. But yeah, so now you just kind of leave them out on the counter, let them cool, and then put them in the cupboard. Eat them when you're hungry. Yeah, give it a try. I'll put a more detailed maybe description down in the comments or something. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.